land of cotton wood, and there I not forgot to look away, Dixieland. In Dixieland where I was born in early on one frosty morning, look away, Dixieland. Well, I wish I was in Dixie, hooray, hooray. In Dixie's land I'll take my stand and live and die in Dixie, away, away, away outside of Dixie, away, away outside of Dixie. Oh, Mrs. Mary will river, when you go someday, Dixie, look away, Dixieland. And when you put these arms around her, smile as fierce as a 40 pound, look away, Dixieland. Shovels in Dixie, hooray, hooray. In Dixie's land I'll take my stand and live and die in Dixie, away, away, away outside of Dixie, away, away, away outside of Dixie. His face was sharp as a butcher's cleaver, but that did not seem to away, Dixieland. Now this is acting the foolish heart, she got for a man that broke her heart. Away, Dixieland. Shovels in Dixie, hooray, hooray. In Dixie's land I'll take my stand and live and die in Dixie, away, away, away outside of Dixie, away, away outside of Dixie.
There's a lot of good ones to play, but you got to be careful which ones you play, or you get one of those ugly copyright things. Got to do all this fair use stuff and everything. You got to give all your views to some other channel. You got to, because they sung a song 100 years ago, you got to give them all your current work. So, yeah, it's just a pain in the butt. And I thought that might be kinder than actually singing to y'all. See, I'm feeling generous tonight. How is everyone? The C103 was here early, and Jay. Oh, excuse me. And Tina and Chipper, Frank, David, Bent. Ben's right. Ben actually read the title. Whoa. There's that too. I'll turn the camera on in a minute. But you're very welcome. The title tonight is not meant for what do you call it, clickbait. I've actually been. There's a lot of people. Oh, there's a civil war coming, or oh, there's going to be what's that term, balkanization, or oh, this is going to happen or that's going to happen, and yeah, that's y'all keep dreaming. I mean, if you're lucky, you might actually be able to score a whale in Oklahoma too. Don't get caught; it's illegal. But drive to Tennessee, you can go whaling there. That's how much sense a lot of the laws make in this country. The thing is, I don't see, I fully disbelieve, I will argue it all day long, there is no way any two states in the United States could form a coalition against any other two states and actually stay friends. Now, could Dallas Fort Worth area, Denton, could the Dallas Fort Worth and surrounding area, all the way over to Texarkana, could they form their own little, yeah, we want things this way? Yeah. And could they politically agree with and have a strong desire to cooperate with, say, the Houston, Austin, San Antonio bunch, which aren't going to be able to hold much ground because there's too much dirt in between them? Would they? Yeah, but then you find out that Houston's interests and Dallas interests are different. Austin's interests and Fort Worth's interests are different. Neither one of their interests support the interests of the other. There's no way they can stay together. They're not theologically, they're not psychologically, they're not economically the same. Utah and Colorado, I don't see them people having barn dances every few days. Do you? I mean, honestly, I mean, how do Idaho and Oregon get along? How about Wyoming? Just asking. Georgia and Alabama, y'all hit it off great, right? The last thing that we suffered that was called a civil war wasn't actually a civil war. It was a I don't know. It wasn't a war between different citizens of the same country. It was a war between several states that had seceded. We can argue all day long whether or not they had the right to, or they should have, or their reasons were sound, or whether the North or the South was moral or immoral. Doesn't change the fact that the way the laws were written at the time, the southern states had the right to separate from the Union. The northern states said no. The same reason, if anything like that happened today, would cause the same kind of response, because while there is all this industry and people and voters in the big cities, they are dependent on those who would want to secede from the nation. And they couldn't allow them, they can't allow the breadbasket to decide it's not part of their food chain anymore. They can't allow the Corn Belt to say, okay, this government sucks. We're going to go ahead and become our own nation. We're just going to do our own things. We're going to go agree with each other to do this. And then y'all are going to have to come up with like some gold bullion or something to trade directly with us. We're not interested in your money. You've already proved that the money's not worth a damn. We need gold, silver, diamonds, something tangible to trade with for our hard-earned, worked-for, produced food. Okay? Can y'all do that for us? The northern states, New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania actually produces some corn, but they can't do that. They don't have the money to do that. They don't have real money. Now, they do have credit, and they do have the ability to print more money, so they could go in there and shoot everybody and take the corn anyway. So that's what would happen. Is that a reasonable assumption on my part? Anybody disagree with me? Now's your chance. Who in what? Painter Steve, 1970. I have a question. What are the rules of engagement for militia, and what do we do when they are broken? The rules for engagement on militia are you do what your commanding officer says. The militia is not a bunch of ragtag individuals running around with AR stuck up their ass, okay? They are people that meet regularly, train regularly, have a chain of command, and are answerable to another chain of command. The militia is a real thing, but a group of guys in the bushes saying they're going to defend their section of the bushes from tyranny are not the militia. Okay? It is your duty as a able-bodied American male to be a member of the militia. And yeah, you're not under the thumb of the United States government or the federal government. But yeah, the militia is under the call of elected officials. Okay, I have a question. JAEUFM. I know what that stands for, and I'm not going to say it. I have a question for all you. Is there something wrong with me because when I watch Gettysburg, at times I'm rooting for the Union, and other times I'm rooting for the Confederacy?
I think it's probably because your ancestors, some of them were from the north, some of them were from the south.
Mrs. S said it's because your family tree couldn't pick a side on, and that now you're just stuck in the middle. Maybe your mama was a Yankee and your daddy was a Southerner, or the other way around, man. I don't know. Or something. Have you checked to see where your cat and dog come from? Could be them. Did I miss reply to my reply? Hold on. I gotta go back up there. No. Then all rules of engagement remain the same. If you know that the person on the other side of the sandbag wants to kill you, kill them first. Now, if you do not know that that person on the other side of the sandbag wants you dead, do not kill them first. That's not good. That would be you being the aggressor. There was a lot about the Confederacy during that time period that I had a lot of problems with. People forget that not all of there were northern states that were fighting to keep slavery. People forget that part. There was a couple of states they isolated and pretty much put out of business because they wouldn't toe the line. They couldn't do the same in the South. Slavery needed to go away, and which they could have handled quite simply by making new states that were slave free, where more cotton and corn and stuff like that could be grown than in the South. They could have pushed them out economically, but that would have taken time. There would have been more people born into slavery, sold into slavery. It would have been wrong. Slavery was a severely abused and outdated concept that should have gone the way of Great Britain when we won the Revolutionary War, but it didn't. In this, I just chased a squirrel. We're not going to go there. That's not what we're talking about. Let me get y'all the camera. I wasn't going to smoke in front of y'all, but I really, blah, taxes. I'm paying mine. I'm a grown man. If you don't want to see me smoke, bye, Felicia. To believe that states will form even small confederacies, if you will, and work together to keep their own economy stable in a military form is nuts. It will be the great American free-for-all. Because how many people in here are actually registered members of an organized, not a organized, but the national or the state militia? How many people live in a state that still organizes, trains, and supports a state militia, which can be called on in case a foreign government or our own federal government oversteps their bounds? Anyone? Don't say I'm a member of the National Guard. It's not the same thing. That's like they kind of don't. That's what the National Guard should be. Everybody, and that shouldn't be the National Guard. It should be like the militia. You shouldn't have to salute every guy you see walking down the street that's got a uniform on or whatever if you're in the National Guard. But the National Guard shouldn't be answerable to the federal government. They shouldn't be able to call out the National Guard. The governor should, but the federal government can't say, okay, I need the Texas National Guard to go to the southern border. If the governor wants to send the Texas National Guard to the border, the federal government shouldn't have any say in it. But the Texas National Guard should be made up of almost every citizen in the state of Texas. If it was still set up like that, it would be relatively. We would have had a civil war a long time ago. That's why they kind of redirected the militia, if you will. There's no way we can't fight a civil war right now. We can have a free-for-all. We can tear the country apart. We can burn it to the ground. But we can't. There's no way to organize and have a civil war. It's not going to happen. I vote for the great American free-for-all. That's what's coming. And the citizens will lose. I hope the spark never goes off. I hope it never gets touched off. I hope it never happens. But I don't know.
They're just going to keep on with the slow boil because then people won't realize it'll be too late.
It'll be too late. I mean,
it's like the frog in the water.
We are all the frog in the water, and people don't get it. They keep expecting the economy to crash. The economy's not going to crash until they want it to crash. Name me one Fortune 500 guy that lost his butt in 2008. Anybody? Any Fortune 500 that lost their butt. Now, took losses, yeah, but completely went out of business. Disappeared off the face of the earth, never to be heard from again because they're stone cold broke. In 2008, they lost everything. Just one. And you did? Now, there are a lot of right, center, and were there a lot of conservative Democrats and Republicans thrown out of business in 2008? Were there a lot of conservatives crippled economically in 2008? And throughout the recovery, wasn't it a lot easier to get things going your way if you had a different mindset? Nothing is going to happen until the people in control of the fire underneath that big pot of water we're all in says it's going to happen. You cannot play in this game and come out. You have one choice. I mean, don't give up. Don't stop fighting. I mean, throw your punch. Your punch is your vote. You can vote from a rural place. You do not got to be living in New York City to vote. Uh, I was one of the beep. Your new painter, we'll go ahead and give you a heads up. LS, don't kill him yet. Okay. You so lucky. Okay. Just yeah, we gotta. There's no telling if one of my grandkids or somebody else's kids are going to be sitting there reading the comments. And now I've done cuss like 20 times, so I'm gonna have to. I'm sorry, guys. I've got to moderate myself. Anyway, just this is a big boy topic, but we can still discuss it. It's one thing to have a verbal slip; it's another to. But anyway, you were one of the guys that got wrapped up in that storm in Oregon. I don't recall people getting, well, one guy got shot in Oregon. I've watched that video 100 times, and he wasn't reaching for anything. He was reacting to being shot. Every time you see him go to here or to there, or what he was doing, I don't know if they were trying to tase him through his jacket and it wasn't working or what. I'm not a tactical kind of guy, but they made that last one count.
And now we're just in a slow burn. They're going to continue the slow burn until they got us cooked to where they need us.
Yeah, but David, if, as you say, we're in a low intensity conflict, then why aren't those people like-minded, the people who are like-minded and aware, not in close contact with each other? I'm not talking about running around in the back areas going, all right, we need us some vegetable oil and some gasoline and some rags. I'll be in charge of emptying all the wine bottles. That's not what I'm talking about. Why aren't we communicating? I mean, instead of just doing YouTube videos and going, it was them, they did it, it's their fault. Or whatever. You don't have to, not all the guys that do that, trust me, not all of them are hillbilly. America is so messed up that there's guys from Canada talking about what's going to happen in the U.S. in our Civil War. Shut up. You're not from here. You don't have a voice, okay? You offend me. You trigger me every time you speak as if you're part of my country. We love Canada. Y'all are our buds. You're not us. South appreciates your help. Back in the day. Oh, wait. Yeah, right. I think it'll start as riot. I mean, and come on, they're hiding all the riots. It was 5 days. The riot was done and over for 5 days before I even found out there was a riot in my sister's hometown. Or not hometown, but where she lives. Apparently there's riots happening all over the place. We're not hearing about. We're just not hearing about the riots anymore. But I thought they'd quit. They're still happening. The cops are still doing nothing. Somebody's telling the police to stand down. And I don't get that. I have a great deal of respect for the police. I really do. Their job sucks. But when your job says you prevent people from breaking the law, that your job description is saying, oh, no, you can't do that. That's against the law. I might have to take you to jail. And some guy tells you, do not enforce the law, even though that's what you're hired for. That's what you swore to do. Then you've got a guy that tells you not to do it. And then you choose to listen to the guy that tells you not to do it, even though you're breaking your oath. I wonder what they've got over these guys. What are they threatening them with, kind of situation? I just wonder. This is not a prop. I just remembered I'd taken that out and I wanted to put in there. Some 5.56 ammunition is more expensive than other 5.56 ammunition, so you don't want to lose a bullet. Okay, those are $1.20 a pop. They'll drop a hog though. Just saying, they weren't very good. That's a good comparison, David. See what I missed. You should have been here earlier, ACP. That was all gone already. No, I don't know what it is. Do you mean as in embedded feds, David, or rebel feds? That's just crazy. And that's it. Now, everybody's hate it. I mean, the thing, and this is my personal opinion, okay? You can hit the thumbs down or unsub me or report me or whatever you want to do. I don't give a crap, okay? The single biggest problem the United States of America is facing today is Me and mine. I am only concerned about what's good for me and mine. My family comes first. I don't care about the guy down the street. I want what's right for my family. I'm going to do what it takes to make sure my family is safe and healthy and fed and cared for. Screw that other guy. Welcome to America. We live here. What's happening to your neighbor is going to happen to you. What's happening to the guy across the invisible line that runs down the middle of that river, which was really flooded. It actually scared me to go across that bridge. So glad I wasn't driving, and I'm sorry. I did not plan that. It was so cool though.
Whatever.
Anyway, I got to see it. I didn't do it on purpose. I'm gonna die. But
Always have to drive across the street. Don't block.
whatever happens on one side of the Mississippi affects the other side of the Mississippi. It's just a river. They got bridges and barges. You think what happens in California doesn't affect South Carolina or Florida? Well, except for maybe the earthquakes. Well, but, oh, wait. When was the big earthquake that leveled everything and killed all them people and stuff? Who had to buy insurance after that? Went up across the board. You think what happens in New York City doesn't affect what happens in Texas? I went from paying $1,200 a year for my umbrella insurance. It's what you have to have when you work for places that are scary. I went from $1,200 a year, this is overnight, $1,200 a year to $12,000 after 9/11. At 21, I had to bail. 9/11 put me out of business. For the second time. I never wanted to be a big company. I always just did just enough to make sure my family had cool stuff. So, wasn't headed for no Fortune 500 or anything. If you don't think what happens in the next state over or the state across the deal or in Puerto Rico, you're America. If you don't think it affects you, you're wrong. You're wrong. Why'd you bring up Whataburger?
You were talking about what stuff happens in New York affecting us or not. Somebody in Chicago got our hamburger places. That affects me because now someone from Chicago owns Whataburger.
You people from Illinois mess up the only decent hamburger we got left in this state, and it's on. They're gonna be a civil war. This is the only good place to get a bacon cheeseburger left. Yeah. Y'all start putting some kind of special sauce on there and cutting that. The burgers have remained the same size. They ain't shrunk.
They will now.
I mean, you can go in there and order a bacon cheeseburger, a large order of fries, and a large milkshake and walk out of there. They had to give you the wheelbarrow. You had to be wheeled out of there. This place fed you. And it didn't break the bank. And all that's gone because some Yankee bought it. Yeah. Whoa. I got a notification. Let me see who's gone live across from me. We'll go there and we'll talk smack. Hope I can't. It's Bitty Boo's prayer circle. I think she does that every day. That lady's got a good heart. Has anybody got any Johnny Yankees? Hey, D-Mac. D-Mac's probably the guy that owns that company that bought Whataburger. D-Mac, if you mess up Whataburger, it's on. In case you missed that one. That's a big thing here, man. Everybody's like, DQ or Dairy Queen, the Texas stop sign. No, buddy. Trust me, it's Whataburger. Whataburger. I grew up with that. Whataburger. Y'all got no idea. We're scared. I wonder if we can go buy a bunch of them and freeze them and save them for microwaving later. That would be gross.
Probably true, David.
Well, yeah, David, but I'm just saying, I mean, right now, what's that, blah, blah, blah. The Revolta Man just did a video about initiative something or other. David, you know which one I'm talking about? 116 something or other, something like that. Where they can I think it's Oregon or Washington State. They can they're making it so they can charge a fee for you to go down, and you have to pay a fee, wait 10 days for the sheriff to run a super in-depth thing. Yeah, drop fire 1693. Initiative 1693, which is some an initiative. I don't see how it can be passed into law. But then again, I would like to point out that a couple of years ago, a guy told y'all, a guy that looks a lot like this, just spread a video around about a resolution 118B going around, which was going to suggest that every state out there pass its own version of a red flag law. Nobody did nothing about it. And now what do we got popping up all over the country? So they've took 118B to the next level, and now we have I-1639. What happens in Lance, Washington State? That ain't got a dadgum thing to do with Oklahoma. Bet me. I'm gonna go get some coffee. Be right back. Look at my pretty flag that I finally found. Yes, David. What is it? A Chicago-based investment firm or something like that? These are so good. If you don't grow your own vegetables, shame on you. Ooh, there were beans in there too. Oh, yeah. If you're a homesteader, this is how you get to eat a salad. I should have watched that. Don't tell her I'm wiping my food on my shirt. You should rinse that. You might get a parasite. Not like I'm kissing a Democrat. Relax. Well, it was laying in front of the. It was laying in front of the coffee pot. Ooh, those seats are warm. This is a bean. Looks like a snake eye. This is Bear Grylls. First, jump off a cliff, dive into the rocks, and grab a hold of this here venomous viper, and then you bite its head off. And that's how you survive. I'm an idiot. Ooh, that's so good. I actually love stuff straight out of the garden. Anyway, what? If you're not a homesteader, you missed out on this. That's simple. We had to ignore our regular green beans. And something happened. They didn't get like pollinated, right, or something. I think while we were gone, it was too hot for the bees to get out and about. Did you know at 10 o'clock, babe, at 10 o'clock, the freaking red ants go down in the hole and they do not come back out?
Up in 100 degrees out there.
It's just weird that even the insects go down underground and hide now. Hey, girl. Hey there, Burley Carpenter. Just the background checks for through the sheriff, the fee part through the sheriff. They're not going to throw out the 10-day waiting period. They're not forcing special, or they don't. Nothing says if they gets to stay in, you've got to have a more intense deal. That they next thing you know, they'll be treating every long gun the way they treat a handgun. And the only, seriously, I mean, it's getting closer and closer every day to where the only people that have firearms are criminals. And every day it's getting closer to that. I got some chili pequenes out there in the garden that need to be picked. My, y'all know I'm Leland Nast. He picked one of them and gave it to my grandson. His son, technically. He got grounded.
They call his foot when that catfish got him.
because of infection or whatever.
Yeah, it started kind of rock cold, but
They're taken to the vet yet?
another good week. It started streaking. Which
Did it cyst up? Has this wrong gone down?
it still hurts.
Well, to make sure. I mean,
Infection. Probably 100% the big meat.
yes, sir.
Chinese one.
Chinese long meat. The red ones, they didn't get as long as the green ones. They call these red, they're purple. But these taste more like black eyed peas when you eat them like this. But which the best, absolute best way to eat black eyed peas is straight out of the garden, right off the deal. You got to get them before the peas form real good. We're just little bitty. You just want to start seeing the bumps on the pea. You break it off and you eat it. Ooh, it's heaven. It's all sugar at that point. It hasn't formed proteins yet. So didn't say it was healthy. I said it was good. Yes, we are, Dad. What is your take on it, Mr. Rocket Scientist? I'm saying that there's not going to be a civil war. I'm saying it's going to be a free for all. I don't see any state, region. I don't see anybody co-oping together. I'm not making clickbait. I did like you should have been here. You shouldn't have been late. I was really on a roll there at the beginning of this. This is West Ass Chat. Y'all are supposed to put y'all's opinions and thoughts on the other side. You're not just supposed to sit there and let me tell you what's going on. Jesus, this is me. You want me to fill your brain full of your ideas, or you want to let's sit here and have a discussion about it? I'd a whole lot rather talk with somebody and get this figured out than just listen to somebody tell me what's going on. And David, the thing with the revolution is it's still got to be organized. And even if it does go to a revolution, I don't believe that the revolution will start until after the free for all. I don't see that happening. Hey, Beady Boo. Video inbound. Yeah, famine and blood. That's true, Grouchy. Hey, Grouchy, did you hear about Whataburger getting bought out by the Yankees?
Yeah, we were talking.
Okay.
He said DQ was. Yeah, DQ.
Yeah.
Their ice cream's good.
The ice cream's good. I mean, it is hard to beat a Dairy Queen banana split. In case y'all are passing through. We didn't eat any of the ones over east of us because they look chinky. You can spot a Dairy Queen building from 10 miles down the road without seeing a sign in Texas. They all look exactly the same, huh? Like, oh, look, there's Dairy Queen. Oh, wait, that's not Dairy Queen anymore. Even if it said got another name on there, you know it used to be a Dairy Queen. Oh, that's somebody on the highway. And y'all want me to go out on a limb on something? Dad brought up that one name that I can't say out loud. The place that, like, if you catch a bunch of little six-legged insects that can carry 10 times their own body weight or 100 times their own body weight and put them in a little glass jar, you can watch them make a farm. Limited or no ads. Get you some, boss man. Excuse me.
HPP said no.
That's not fair. Antifa is a joke, for starters. But that's not what this is about. Yeah, Auntie Tifa. Or Auntie Faye. I was calling it Auntie Faye for a long time. Yep. From now on, reference that other thing that I said and blew myself out of the water with. If you hear me talk about Auntie Faye, that's what I'm going to be talking about. Anyhow, Auntie Faye, the people we see on the news, the Auntie Faye we see on the news, that's not the Auntie Faye we need to be worried about. The Auntie Faye we need to be worried about is that one that stays behind the closed curtains, knitting the web. You know the Three Sisters thing with the web of fate and all that. Three jump. Those people. Think about it. The guy in the pretty uniform with the real crisp hat and the little lightning bolt looking S's and stuff like that. Do you actually think he was in control of the party represented by the broken plus sign thing? Or was he just the guy out in front taking the flack? So the Auntie Faye that goes out in public and does Auntie Faye stuff is not the Auntie Faye that we need to be worried about. The Auntie Faye that we need to be worried about is one we don't say. Plain and simple, these greens are good.
He said, where are we from?
Huh?
That's not quite what she said.
Oh, I was just saying that I'm not going to like pull the punches tonight. I don't care. You know, if somebody gets their feelings hurt or whatever, it's not my fault that they were in here. Pick that up from Outlaw Morgan. You know, a good philosophy. It's my channel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw the interview or an interview from that guy. That's what got me started thinking. He had it coming, Dad. He was a Nazi. You could see it on his face, man. Obviously a Nazi. I mean, everybody knows that the Japanese or Koreans or Chinese or Vietnamese, that they're all Nazis. Because the superior race is now and always has been Asian, not Aryan. But I didn't want to say gay. That just sounded harsh. It sounds like, why do you want to label people, Dad? And just because I didn't know his exact origin of country, which I think he's American. No, he's not American. Because he didn't have an American accent. But anyway, it's wrong of you to label people. Unless you're calling him a Nazi, and then you can do that. Okay? Supper. I'm eating healthy. I'm eating a salad. Actually, Mrs. S went out and was picked some stuff out of the garden, and she set it down in there, and she's probably saving it for later. And I just keep going by and grazing on it because I can. Here's what's left of our purple one. I'm eating it slowly. I'm enjoying my salad, which has no, what do you call that stuff? Uh, Dressing or anything on it. No salt, no pepper, nothing. Where is Elle at? Why is she in here? She better not be having a life and stuff. She may not have got her notifications. Been doing weird stuff. A lot of people lost subscribers today. In case anybody's wondering, I thought it was weird that subscriber stuff changed and everything, and it was right after they put out a new update for Windows 10. We'll have to start checking, seeing if there's any correlation between operating system updates and difficulties within social media platforms. That would be an interesting set of coincidences to discover. If anybody has more spare time on their hands and a greater understanding of technology than I do, feel free to steal that idea and run with it. I will watch and promote your video. Mostly because it saves me having to do it and I still find out the goodies. This is not green tobacco. Y'all calm down. Not that American. Well, I'm not that Oregon and Colorado and stuff. Or Oklahomian anyway. Hey Doc, I made me a prescription for some of that there medical marijuana. I got a toothache. Okay. Oops. Found this on the side of the road, which was really good. Let's see. Whoa, 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 whoa. Somebody wrote something with fancy words. I have to read it. Third level of analysis, coinciding with McDonald's next big sandwich. Comedians have already talked about that one. Oh, yeah, it's not confusing. What did Weston say about the in case y'all didn't know, David's got a lot of time to study this, or he spends a lot of time studying it anyway. Dad, are you talking about the Vietnamese dude? See, I didn't label him. Okay, a little bit. On his soft-spokenness. I haven't seen any of his videos. I saw what they did. I saw how they roughed him up. The Constitution is too powerful. Yeah, I don't do McDonald's. Well, grouchy eye for an eye is not in the 10. And the eye for eye is one of the most common misused things. Because remember, the law is based off of how you should treat others. It's yeah. Now that would work. After you've broken a law, which justifies it, public canings, you know, the floggings will continue until morale improves. It wouldn't take long. This high crime areas. Which would be better? Your child getting killed in a drive-by or your child getting put up in a 4-point hitch and having to take a whooping in front of God and everybody? Hey, cool, Arizona. Yeah, I'm a couple of deals behind on his thing because I follow both him and Fowler, and they did this thing together, and I'm like, okay, I don't know. It's a coin toss to see who I watch next. Does he have a channel by chance? Dad, if he's got a channel, or if you know where where people can link to his stuff, feel free to put it up there. That's true if it's deliberate, but yeah. But you got to be careful about that because that's why written law gets so confusing, or law interpretation gets so dangerous. Because let's say you hit a chug hole, your coffee spills in your lap, you're trying to keep from burning your private parts with hot coffee, and you head on some woman and her little kid. You kill them dead or in a hammer. You survive, but they're both dead. You killed them. It wasn't your fault, but it was your fault because you shouldn't have had hot coffee in your lap. Yeah, false accusers should get 2 whoopings. I mean, it's, and I'm not disagreeing with you. I almost called you by your first name, Grouchy. I mean, we need to pick it up a notch. I mean, a guy that Bundy, dude, no life sentences, no nothing. I mean, he shouldn't have stayed alive to answer for. They could have tried him after he was executed for the first however many he did. Okay. I don't know, Westwind, because that makes it vengeance rather than justice. See the deal? I mean, I can kind of see the point. I mean, it would be kind of cool, but I mean, I'd rather a professional guy whoop the crap out of somebody for trying to put me behind bars without any reason than me do it, because I might wind up killing them, and then I'd be in trouble. Eye for an eye is not written.
Well, that's what he said. Now, what are we talking about?
Okay. Eye for an eye is not written into the law to justify killing somebody for killing one of yours. It's not saying that if somebody steals one of your goats, you can go steal one of their goats. Oh, I thought she was talking to me, and she's not. Eye for an eye is a warning. Whatever you do to somebody else, you deserve back. Not, it doesn't say you should get it back. It doesn't say tit for tat. It's a warning. Remember, this is about doing unto others as you would have others do unto you. So don't poke somebody's eye out unless you want your eye poked out. Unless you'd be okay with somebody coming up and poking your eye out. Don't go poke somebody else's eye out. Play the difference between the letter of the law and the spirit of the law, but this is not church. Or it is church. We live in church. Just say. No, it is not that. It is actually in the Torah, which is actually in the Quran. But let's just don't get into that. It's a Jewish thing. It started out a Jewish thing, and then it was taken over by the Muslim things, and then blah, 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 blah. And then it was mutated by the Christians, and then... Yeah, gotcha. That's the deal. I mean, that's why forgiveness is a big deal. The same book of law that says eye for an eye says you will hold back the kinfolks of the guy slain and give the person who accidentally killed this guy a 3-day head start. The same book of law. So I think it's 3 days. Do I need to go? They're gonna have to turn it off and let it circulate. I can't check anything. I can't check it while it's frozen. Just need the fan on. Turn the cooler off and the fan on. Service call.
Oh, go ahead, Doc.
It's going to be at least 3 hours. I'll call him. I hope I didn't miss a leak. I hope I didn't miss a leak. The timing's actually right for it to be El Filteroso. That would make it vengeance, pity, as opposed to justice. We got to be very careful. It is neither our place to judge or to pronounce judgment upon others. So we got to be really careful there. But anyway, we were talking, this is Civil War. Let's get back to Civil War. We'll talk about eye for an eye Tuesday. How's that? Y'all come back Tuesday. We'll talk about eye for an eye there. Or we can talk about it tomorrow night, whatever. If somebody wants to bring it up tomorrow night, we can talk about it tomorrow night. But let's talk Civil War tonight. Civil War is it's the topic. Let's do that. Was it lawmakers, Dad, or was it lawyers? Which lawmakers and lawyers run in the same circles. Anymore, you can't be a lawmaker unless you've been a lawyer. I think it's lawyers. Which lawyers and lawmakers are the same people. Again, I already said that. It is a hot topic these days because you got one group, back to the Civil War thing. You got this side of the fence saying it needs to be done like this. You got that side of the fence saying well, actually, there's 3 sides to this fence. You got one side of the fence saying an eye for an eye. You got one side of the fence saying forgive and forget. And then you've got the other side of the fence that says, why are there laws, period. So, yeah. Again, yet one more reason that a organized civil war, I don't see it happening. I don't see the country coming together in such. I do not see patriots coming together in defense of the constitutional republic anytime in the near future. You're a very kind, thoughtful, and considerate human being, wife. Yeah, it's a free for all. There's, I mean, if Texas tried to form a country with other states, and we had like a vote, a public vote or whatever, to bring, say, New Mexico, Louisiana, which we really need Louisiana, if it was to happen, and Oklahoma back in, or in with us. I'd be okay with Oklahoma. I would be big time as long as Louisiana was willing to change a bunch of their rules, their laws, and crap that's made them go blue. Louisiana, we're after resources. Okay, it gives us the mouth of a very important river. So, New Mexico, I don't have anything to do with it. Too much welfare over there. It bankrupts. Personal opinion. And it needs to happen sooner than later. Because the big cities in Oklahoma are growing. There's a lot of free money coming into that state. It's like New Mexico and Louisiana. And that free money is feeding a failed system of socialism that is going to cripple all three states. Okay. So sick and tired. I got so sick and tired of seeing the word casino. There's casinos don't work. People do the math. Do the math. Not anymore. HTP, there was too much of that. Well, I want what's right for me and mine. There was too much of that during the 50s and 60s. And all the way it was, I grew up listening to it. First two world wars, we still believed in doing what was right for the country. That's why we backstopping socialism in Europe. We weren't actually formed as a constitutional republic. Calm down, different topic, but let me see what they called it. Here. I closed the page, dadgummit. We were actually formed under a deal where there was no law allowing secession. Then they redid it and put in a window that made secession available to the states, but a couple of little tricky clauses in there requires it to be done with arms. You can't just vote it happen. You've got to prove that you can stand alone or some crap like that. I didn't. In my defense, I didn't feel like so whenever you're looking at stuff like that, you never know what you're reading, whether you're reading somebody from the left, somebody from the right, somebody in the middle. It'd be nice if journalism was to be the middle. This new phrase, explanatory journalism, which the idea of explanatory journalism I like. But when you switch over from factual reporting to explanatory journalism, and you use explanatory journalism to ratify a belief or an interpretation about the facts, it's no longer explanatory, but rather what would be a good word for that? Where you take advantage of somebody, manipulative reporting. And you're global climate change, man-made global climate change. They manipulate the data. They manipulate the reports. They silence some science and promote other questionable science. I fully believe, I am aware climate change. On a bit. Kim, do I necessarily think that it's man-made? Not particularly. I think it's a natural cycle. So if you manipulate the science to show it as being caused by this or that, yada, 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 you wind up, I mean, you're no longer explaining the news. You're creating the news. You're using created news to manipulate people. And yes, that is all aimed directly at a V place with an O place and an X place. Because they're little crap. So, anyway. Yes. There you go. That's the. A lot of people call it controlling the narrative. It's way more than just controlling a narrative. They are. If you control the narrative, is just getting what's going out. You're controlling what's going out, not necessarily changing anything. But if you take controlling the narrative to the next level, which a lot, like most news outlets have done, then it's not controlling. You're manipulating the masses. And when you're doing it from 2 different angles and 20 different directions, or pulling people in 20 different directions, using all of your outlets, you're manipulating society into a direction that it cannot survive. I do not want to live in a country or a state even that does not have an hierarchy of government. I do not want my tribe to have to fight with the tribe up the road over resources. The human animal will never live and let live with the other human animals on the same continent. It's not going to happen. The strongest always expand and the weaker always succumb. They either resistance is futile. You assimilate or you perish. That's the human way. We can't be you can't say, okay, this is the law, and then not have somebody to enforce it. This doesn't work. Hey, Kilder. Well, we were talking about that earlier on the anti-phase stuff, Dad. The people behind the militant section of anti-phase cannot afford for it to be anti-phase's fault. It's got to look like a bunch of innocent protesters running away from a mob that has had enough. It won't be portrayed as a mob that's had enough from a bunch of violent, hate-filled Nazis. And then that allows them to do, stuff, which makes it more bloodier in the end, more divisive. Fix and stick my head out the door. Everything is dangerous to our democracy. The biggest danger to our democracy is failing to participate in it. Democracy is everybody having a part in their own governance. That's what our country was based on. If you choose not to take part in your own governance, then guess what? Now, the people that were taught to take part in the governance for the greater good of the party, sound familiar? Have now got little loopholes and laws passed out there which allow people who aren't even part of the country, who do not have a voice in our Constitution for the running of our country, for the governance of our country, are allowed to vote. They're allowed to receive driver's license and travel freely within the boundaries of our republic. Because there were so many folded hands, and I just don't have time to, I ain't got time to keep up with that mess. That stuff gives me a headache. It don't make any difference no how. When all that stuff started getting spewed, it still did make a difference. Whether it makes a difference now or not, I don't know. I don't care. I'm not going to fold my hands and let them walk on me. I'm going to throw my vote. I am. I'm going to vote. I'm going to vote till they meet me at the door and say, you can't vote, boy. Too white. Because I'm American. I got the right to vote. I'm going to throw one of my rights away, and then I'm not going to throw one of my rights away and then for the next one. I want all of them. They're all mine. All of them. Get your chonies in a bunch over one and not have your chonies in a bunch on the other. Because then again, all of a sudden you're not worried about the country anymore. You're not worried about the Constitution, the Republic. You're not worried about the United States. You're not worried about America no more. You're worried about you. And being American is not about you. Being American is about being un-American. There's a distinction. You have to want your country to be strong, healthy, moral, upright, safe, open, free, in order for you to expect the same in your personal life. Unless you're a communist and part of the ruling party. Be right back, guys. Sorry. Life moment. Well, it goes way beyond Portland, West Wind. I mean, it's do you really think if the union government wasn't involved in it, it wouldn't be going down? I mean, come on. Texas had a governor that stood up, said enough's enough. He was next. He was going to be the president. There's no way that man wasn't going to get elected. And then when he did his job as governor of Texas, all of a sudden the entire country come down on him and threatened to put him in jail if he didn't back off and disappear. When was the last time you heard of Rick Perry? I mean, a political powerhouse, strong defender of all the Constitution. Every other state level politician in the country saw what happened, knew what happened. They all scared. They're like, ooh, ooh. And they're scared of the wrong people. They're scared of the you know who's. When we got the real power, We're just not willing to risk it. And that's the shameful truth. I'm lumping myself right in there. 100% of the people I've seen putting out content or commenting or in chats on various deals and stuff like that, I'll stand with you. I'll stand with you. I'll stand with you. There hasn't been a single one say, follow me. Nobody. There's been some people say, stand with us. Who's standing in front of you? Which one of us is gonna be expected to move fastest? I just noticed something. Okay. I thought that was a Pac-Man symbol. It's not. That's the one. There's a lot of people willing to follow. The risk isn't in the actual deed. The real risk is in doing what leads up to it. We're not asking you to, a civil war or any kind of confrontation within the United States that didn't result. And I am not YouTube. Okay, YouTube, you trolls out there. And this is because when this gets all like, I am so gonna fight this one. I am not promoting violence. I am not promoting insurrection. I ain't promoting nothing. We're having a discussion. This is my First Amendment. This is all our First Amendment right to have a discussion about this. Okay? Calm down. If we want to have the first thing in the title without winding up suffering through a free-for-all, instead, the individuals that wanted to organize something like this would have to risk their families, their futures, their property, their finance, their retirement. The only retirement I have is having paid into Social Security for the past 43 years. Damn it, I'm entitled to that money. Call it a tax all day long. Scooting over, that's my money. I earned it. For me to do the big CW, I gotta throw it away. Die penniless and homeless. Free for all, I may be able to come out with a few hundred acres and 15 or 20 families willing to help me hold it. That sounds a whole lot better to me. Not any good for my country. That's what everybody's thinking. That's why it will be the free for all and not the other. It's that simple. It'll be no civil war. Yeah. Anybody got a different opinion? I welcome video responses. As a matter of fact, I challenge everybody out there with a channel that makes content. Come on, convince me that it's going to be anything other than the great American free for all. Anybody? You, not some other YouTuber. You. You already know how I feel about, especially don't send me no links, no Florida Marquee or none of them Dabu 7 or none of them losers either. And Wayne, I do not disagree with your standpoint from your standpoint, but the thing you just described, the standpoint you just described, is just another version of, albeit justified. It is still a version of the me and mine. I'm not judging anybody for right and wrong on their stance. I'm just saying that's the way it is. The way it is why it's no civil war. Not going to be a civil war. It's going to be a free for all. Abu's a dumbass. You talk about clickbait. HTP, you think I clickbait? I've listened to so many. I used to listen to so many of his videos. I was like, come on, man, make a conclusion. Come to it. Make a statement. Stand your ground. Say what you're saying. It's like, not tipping the girl for the lap dance or whatever. She'll walk out the room. You just never quite get there. I mean, the guy's a whore. He's a clickbait whore. He doesn't actually try to do anything. He's not trying to change anything. He just wants people to watch his damn videos. And yes, Dad, basically not a fan. Yeah, and I'm not going to open my, if me and my bunch get several hundred acres and we're not going to open our borders to a bunch of zombies. That's not going to happen. Hold on. HCP, you're directly answering comment statements I'm making. I've got a lag over here on the chat. That's not fun. Thank you. There's a topic for a chat. Zombies. Don't put a guy behind the wheel for hours and hours and hours and hours and miles and miles and miles. I just want him to think. That's why truck drivers all got so many opinions about things, is because you got so much time on their hands to think. Y'all know that? That's what I think. Zombies. They have been reinventing zombies. I think the original Dawn of the Dead was just a twisted fluke. Okay, it was, it was good entertainment, sort of. There's some blackpilling you can do on the end of it, where the guy, all he had to do was open the door and say, "Hey, what's going on?" and he wouldn't have got shot in the face. So if you don't want to be counted with, and this is my black pill on that, if you don't want to be counted with the zombies when everything's starting to level out, you better stand up and be counted amongst the living. All right? But zombies have evolved. Or have they? Have they just been expanded upon? Let's take Left 4 Dead. I'll play video games. Calm down. I haven't played video games in months. Months and months and months. Let's say that the zombies in Left 4 Dead are a representation of the people left alive after an event. You've got those that will just wander around aimlessly looking for something to eat, slowly deteriorate. Then you've got those that are full of disease and they will wander amongst others, spreading the disease, causing more and more zombies to form or death. There you've got my personal favorite, the little children sitting in dark places, crying and making you feel sorry for them until you walk up and they turn around and they rip your face off. Or the hunters that actually actively seek out the living. And that's a pretty good representation of what it's going to be like when people realize that there's no more Taco Bell. You take a group of 8 to 12, 13-year-old kids, and you allow them to survive 6 months. They're feral. They don't care about you. They've already lived through the parents dying, the uncles dying, big brother, little sister. They've already seen all this. They're worried about food, shelter, and water. You're not a benefit to them. Think about it. Somebody has been suffering from prolonged starvation. They've been getting just enough calories to keep them alive, keep them from total organ failure. They're nothing but skin and bones, walking around just looking for anything to eat. That's your slow zombies. You've got the guys that's like, you know what? I like long pork. There's your hunting zombies. And then you've got the ones that just drift around, those I'm coming to your house people. Those are the big fat explode all over everything, kill everybody in the group kind of zombies. I think they're getting us ready for it. Night, DOT. Zombies is too much. I should have said Disney princesses instead of zombies. I'm sorry. Come back, Dad. We'll talk about Disney instead of zombies. I'm just messing with you. And they're going to have an alpha long extension cord to get where I'm at, West Wind. Yeah, people are going to start going crazy within the first 24 hours. Some of them. 72 hours in, it's going to get real. And that we're not talking civil war anymore. We're talking an event of some sort. A mass coronal ejection, which honestly to me, people, a mass coronal ejection right now, I would take as a blessing as opposed to a slow burn into the Great American Free-for-All and a prolonged whatever. They, them, those guys will still come out ahead after an economic collapse. They're going to have all the food, all the gas, all the shelter. They're going to be able to make deals with people that know how to use guns. So that's okay. Yeah, but you'd have to be real careful about where you get the resources. And there's 100 people in a neighborhood, 90 of them die. That leaves 10 people in that neighborhood. So there's 10 people in control of that neighborhood. You don't want to go in there and try to get the resources that they claim for themselves. 90% is still just 90%. It ain't everybody. It ain't 100%. Even after the first year, that's when the killing starts. The 90%, that's mostly people just dying. Killing's gonna start after the first 6 months, and it'll carry through the rest of that year and into the next year until people realize that you know what, there ain't many left of us, and we can't keep affording to throw all this lead down range. We really should have learned to grow 3-foot long green beans and squash. The squash ain't 3 foot long, but it's big. This is a interlude. Y'all are gonna have to watch my flag again. I gotta go get more coffee and we'll get rid of some. Let me think. West Wind, you're too High Desert Pioneer. You're in charge. Keep these people entertained. Tell a funny joke.
she gonna do? What? Going to sleep? Or what? Oh.
Where that funny joke? That's funny. It's a very short joke. Pretty bad when you make a 3-year-old cry. Not particularly. That's definitely not a funny joke. ACP. I mean, superinflation. That's. I don't. I've heard this stuff or whatever, but I'm really not that afraid of superinflation yet. Okay, what was that? Do I need to wrap this up? No, I just want to make sure that.
No, he was just saying go check it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, here's a funny joke. Okay, y'all ready for this? I heard it on Fox News. Economic recovery. West Wind, I wish it was that easy. Whether you have debt or not, when it comes time to buy a loaf of bread, if all you got's $20 and the loaf of bread is $40, you ain't eating. We are protected in the Constitution. The Constitution says we can own private property. But we need to check into this, or whether or not property tax is legal. So,
Hospitals, do you want your roads worked on? Do you want
I do not want our
paved
hospital to stay
streets?
open.
Do you want gutter systems? Want
Wait a
water
minute! Whoa,
supply?
whoa, 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 whoa! The paved streets, I paid like the tag thing for that.
$50 a year is not going to cover highway repair.
That's the highway department. They just need to quit paying those guys so much to stand around and lean on those shovels. I'm just saying.
I'm just saying.
And why do we have them all that equipment out there in the county barns and the state and stuff like that for them to do all this stuff, and then they contract it out to somebody else, and the equipment just sits there and gets dusty? Don't make any sense. Calm down. It's not that a corrupt of a system, Mr. S. That equipment's for the mayor's driveway, Dad Bernie. Ah, you're in. Yep. Land, private ownership of land, not private ownership of other folks. See, I got honey on the outside of my glass. Mm-hmm. Anybody want to donate me another jar of raw honey? That's cool. Which should prove that they're doing a good job. You know, if you can finish your year and lower your budget, you're doing a good job. That's the way it works.
Still gotta have your cola.
You're what?
Cola
Cola.
though.
Well, yeah, but I mean that still doesn't justify buying $2 million worth of equipment to set in a barn.
It can be $1,000.
Why does everybody think I can sing? All of you do, honey. Turn your light on so I can see when you make fun of me. Oh. No, ma'am. I am quite done now. Ah. I need to go wash my mouth, but it tastes like foot right now.
Tomorrow's Courtney's birthday.
Well, there's it. Tomorrow's really. What's she getting me? Oh, fine. We'll bake her a cake or something. Yeah, that is true, Wes. I don't know. I mean, the whole system is set up to support its own non-functionality, man. It unfunctional. It just ain't gonna work. Oh, wait. Hey, Grouchy dude, you still in here? Can't believe I didn't think of this earlier. I got a couple of deals. Good evening, Walter Davis. I was trying to do some karaoke for the Bible study and stuff. I was getting so fed up. There's so many people out there got so many songs so screwed up with karaoke. It ain't even funny. Did anybody see the Grouchy dude say goodbye a while ago? Which he's not really all that grouchy, by the way. Nope. As soon as I see the word scandal, I'm out. The last time I fell for a scandal, I had to watch all this crap about a blue dress. And yeah, no, I don't watch scandals. Oh, man. I have to do a formal. You sent me some mail. I was just going to uh, Send me a Bible. It's a cool Bible. Give me a really cool letter. I'm going to read the letter. Talked about how special and how super duper extraordinary my channel is, and how he wishes everybody on YouTube was just like me and stuff like that. So I'm going to read it out loud. It's very unbiased. Opinion. Well, the monetary system is, but I'm talking about the well, I guess it's tied together, the budgeting systems for various government entities or whatever. I'm not saying we don't need one or the other of these. I'm saying we're not going to get one of the others. There's only one of these that is ever going to happen. It will be a free for all. Nothing else. Nothing else going to work. Me, I hope the free for all holds off until I'm out in the middle of nowhere and I can just watch the smoke. I just want to watch the smoke. I don't want to have nothing to do with it. I do not want to send a single round down range. I don't want it to affect me. Way too fun. Yeah. Yes, Gregory, you let it grow and you fertilize it. It would there would be nothing but glowing walls. Pretty much. I mean, that was good. That, did y'all hear that? Just like we were talking about the black light and stuff. She said, that's just because of the way they screw everybody. That's why it's mine. Ooh, that's a good one. Do not get them too close to your bushcraft fire or your campfire. That's not good either. Um, there's always that whole thing where you put mittens on your grandkids too. Uh, a woman does not like to see the beard being used as a food cache. Even for a split second. Okay? Yeah, don't do flaming shots when you have a beard. That's bad. Do not put hairspray in your beard. If you put hairspray in your beard, throw your man card away. Right now. The end. And plus, it's not real smart. Put that one in HDP's live chat. Betty, you and the missus already ganged up on the whole facial hair thing. Don't you sneak off in there and do something I'll be mad at you for. Okay, I'm just talking to the dog. I didn't shoot him yet. I like to go to the seafood place and order a lobster, and then I just put my lobster bib on my ears around my beard. Just got that little pocket. And while you're eating, the food can fall down and just kind of roll down the bib, and you can reach in the bib and you pick up what you missed. Love you too. I bet they do, David. Wayne's gonna. He's so smoking me right now. I wish I hadn't shaved mine off. Honestly, I ain't never gonna catch up with it. A old hog. But you'll pet a pig. You'll give a pig a belly rub. But you don't want to kiss a man in the face. I thought you were gonna try to go it down and use it to cover your belly button. Ah. Better make sure it's okay with the pig first, Biddy. I'm just saying. Any y'all interested in seeing a 45-minute video of me and LS and the wife sitting around chatting? All you get to look at is me because they both refuse to appear on camera. But I'm gonna post that. I'll start uploading it tonight, and it'll be out tomorrow. It's heavily edited because there was a lot of background noise and there was some awkward silence. Still had to take that. My I think I'm gonna get my picture retaken this time. Every driver's license picture I've had for the past 30-something years has had me in a mullet. Or, well, this isn't technically a mullet, people. Calm down. People, nice mullet. It's not a mullet. Mullet from here down. That's, yeah. This is, I leave the back of my hair long. If I could stand it, I would leave all of it grow. What Paul say? That we should see what nature has to say about it, because we don't have any doctrine concerning the length of hair. It's your hair. God makes it grow. If he wants it to fall out, it'll fall out. If he wants to give you a bald spot, you have a bald spot. If you don't like long hair, don't wear long hair. If you like long hair, wear long hair. I mean, you should try to keep it, you should try to differentiate it. Now, the rule, yeah, there's rules in Christianity. Oh my gosh. Chicken butt hairdos aren't exactly acceptable on a Christian woman. That's just me. I'm just saying. That's what I get. I've never found them attractive anyway. I don't want to pull my wife in for a kiss and feel short, stubby hair on the back of her neck. Ooh. I'd rather kiss a pig. It's you had data, though. That was not an attack on you. I just remembered you had a reason for that, and that's okay.
Medical reason.
Yeah, chemo.
Got different medical issues. Makes sense.
A chicken butt hairdo. Dana, you know, got the long flowing, got the wings and stuff, and then you turn around and there's a little bit of hair here, and then it's just like razor stubble on the back. It's like, looks like a chicken butt. Looks like a little baby rooster walking around. I mean, I ain't sexy. Not really. Chicken butt is the go-to hairdo for young men from California. Westwood's talking about getting a trim. He'll probably go get him a rooster butt. That's, dude, Westwood, I'll give you $20, man. Leave the beard. Get the full on, man. Get the whole chicken butt hairdo going on. Give you $20. You can get it cut after, but you have to do an outlaw Morgan video thing. How he puts the wig on. He's got the makeup, and he does that whatever it is video. Is he? Outlaw Morgan, he's like real big on not talking about the revolution and all that stuff like that. Just go out and do what you want to do. Live your life. I mean, you do you, I'll do me kind of thing. I can get along with that. Don't come to my house, dude. Don't swing by. I mean, if that's the way you want to play it, that's your business. Do not knock on my door. He's funny. I mean, the Royal Dutch Army. I dated a Jewish girl once. I know, Dana. Okay, Walter. My wife's ex-military. She spurs me. She's one of them unstable veterans. Or maybe she just don't like me. Yeah, I think that's why he's separating himself from the some of his early subscribers. I don't know. But he's comedic relief. I like him for that part. I didn't like his 4th of July video, though. That was stupid. Well, I guess it wasn't the worst one ever. Dutch chocolate. What you got to do to switch over to your chicken butt bitty is go just get that razor, that thing you just like put some duct tape right behind your ears and then just shave everything else straight up off the butt. Just do the opposite of what I have the exact opposite of a chicken butt haircut. Right about now is when I start fearing something's going to happen to my hair. I had that stuff down between my shoulder blades and caught it on fire. Had a giant hole in it, and I wound up cutting it off. Dadgummit. Hold on, let me ask why if I can have more than $20. What if I can get enough people to pitch in? Where's Corsair's at? Is Corsair being all like having a family life and stuff? Or is he's probably over in somebody else's live stream. I should probably check and see who else is live. Probably keeping y'all here against y'all's will when there's something more interesting going on. Let's see what's going on. Let's see what's going on in the YouTubes. Oh man, we could have gone and watched Prepper Nurse 1. Who didn't? We could try to talk HCP into going live. Then we could go over there and we could bombard his chat. Where's 2 a.m. local at? Trey's up late tonight. Hey Trey, got the bamboo keeping it alive and everything? I forgot that I have to dig a hole to do that. You want to come dig the hole?
If they'll go to that and scroll about halfway down the page, they'll see a chicken butt hairdo.
If you go to that and scroll halfway down the page, you'll see a chicken butt hairdo. Hey, Haas. All right. Why you got to be doing schoolwork at 2 a.m.? It's 2200. Is that how you say it? And is that how you say it in military town? It's 10 p.m. Did it have a stepladder? Getting ready for Barry. Barry Manilow's coming to town. You gonna go to a con? You gonna take Mama E to a concert? I know that. I just wanted to see if he was gonna go watch Barry Manilow. Trey Easy, Trey, you strike me as the kind of guy that will go to some Barry Manilow. That's okay, man. If you get 2 tickets, let me know. We can go together. He just, I threw it out there and blah blah blah. You still want to hear me sing? No, nobody want to hear me sing. I sang in front of one of my Bible studies the other day. What do you want to hear me sing, Gregory? Don't say no Beyonce or nothing like that, because I ain't gonna rap either. Well, I got a stick. I can do some rapping. Well, it's actually a back scratcher. It's not really scratching. You can smack somebody with it. Why me, Lord? That's cheating, Biddy. You knew I knew that one. Don't yell at me, Biddy. Well, I don't know. Barry Manilow concert track's still okay. Not too bad. Can't remember the words. Biddy. If I could remember the words, I would sing them. As soon as I start singing, I'm gonna my voice is gonna crack. So, yeah. You want the Chris Christopherson version? That's my favorite. Where he does it in the real gruff voice. Why me, Lord? What have I ever done to deserve even one of the pleasures I've known? Tell me, Lord, what did I ever do that was worth loving you, or the kindness you've shown? Lord, help me, Jesus, I've wasted it, so help me, Jesus. My soul's in your hands. And I don't have the words in front of me, so that's all you get. Yeah, I got the time right on the thing or whatever. I used to have to count it in my head. I'm like, okay. They said it would happen at 1000 hours, and I know there's not 10 p.m. So that's usually what 5 or 6 rounds is about what it takes to get me started singing. Chipper almost got me. If went to a deal with him when we was in Arkansas, and he was trying to get me to go up there and do it. But I was smart, and I resisted. Yes, there were several people that took that song, but it was actually written by Chris Christopherson. And I think if you want to know the real emotion behind a thing, you have to go to the source. You cannot have this in Canada. But I ain't Canada. Look, it matches my flag. It matches my flag. Matt A's prepping into rival game it. Yes, I still have it. I'm pretty sure it'll sing. That's how you get it. I know it's that work on me. I actually found because he lives in the right tempo the other day, and but it was at a higher key than what I sing at comfortably, and I tried, but when you get to the because I know that last step up on the no, it was a no. Yeah. There's a lot of guys out there that wrote a lot of songs for other people, and people don't realize that the people didn't write the songs themselves. There's a lot of songs that Chris Christopherson wrote that he didn't publish himself. He sold them to other people. That's funny, David. I wish I could play the guitar. If I could play the guitar, I'd do a lot more singing. Because if you're the guy doing the music, then what you feel, this is so not Civil War talk. But if you're the guy in control of the music, then what you're feeling when you're doing the song, the emotions that are flowing through you, coming out in the song, are followed or expressed by the music you produce. With whatever musical instrument you have, drums, piano, organ, guitar, banjo, violin. It's kind of hard to sing and play the flute at the same time, but I have a guitar. I thought about trying to pick it. I tried to learn a long time ago and then quit. I don't know Stomping the Clover. I have hymnal somewhere. But we're not going to talk Wes into singing on that. It's against the rules. It's against the rules of engagement. I would really like to learn to play the piano. I have a really good friend. She's really good on the piano. The only problem is we do not live in close enough proximity to one another for us to practice enough. She does a pretty good job of keeping tempo, of hanging with what is going through me when I'm saying we've known each other since we were 4. So makes it easier. Isn't that a stick? Not one of those boing, 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 boing things. Did you sing to Chipper today? That's right. You're a sax player, C103. We need to get a YouTube band together. That could work. All we have to do is record the audio, email the audio, and we could do a mix. YouTube mix. Various YouTube artists doing their musical instruments. It'd take his one person to start it up, and then that audio could go to the next person, and then he could record his audio with that one, and then go to the next one. Do. It's a thought. That'd be kind of cool, actually. Music can be spiritual. Some, not all music. I don't think that all music is spiritual. Well, hold on. Let me rephrase it. I don't believe that all music is oriented to the right spirit. Some of that screamo or whatever they call it, and thrasher stuff or whatever. These are never gonna burn to the ground. I mean, it's not. That's not spiritual. It may be spiritual, but it's not the spirit I want to hang out with. Now, The Sound of Silence by Tad Gummit. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I was like, whoa, that's really good. Still like the original better, but Disturbed, yeah. I mean, a guy with a voice like that, it's, why does he not do that more often? Why is all he does is the stuff? You got a voice, dude. I mean, I know you're in it for it's how I make a living, boss. They actually did a pretty decent job with the video representation of the song, too. The original video representation is still very valid as well, though. So, I don't want to offhandedly disregard any artistic outlet or expression of one's feelings. But there are some that I find to be more uplifting than others. And it disturbs me. Why? When I realize that there are people out there that have the ability to express themselves in a amazing way that can transcend all these barriers between people, as the way Disturbed did with The Sound of Silence. And they don't do that more often. I just, What song is that, Biddy? Well, go out there and hit it back, Trey. Just walk up to him and say, "You be leaving Mississippi alone," like that. You should go to that car wash, dude, and harvest a whole bunch of that bamboo, and like make you a hut, make a tree house. No, make a Gilligan's Island hut with the opening doors and everything. That way, when the hurricane comes, they won't be able to do nothing because you'll be in a bamboo hut. You'll be perfectly fine. But Amazing Grace in Cherokee. I'm not allowed to listen to Indian music around my wife. She listens to more modern music than I do, and I like listening to flute music, flute and drums and stuff like that. It's not really Native American music. Give me a break. But I really like that type of music. I like woodwinds and stuff like that. I like that it calms me down. Some of the stuff she listens to literally puts my blood to boil and makes me want to lock and load and clear a room. And then you wonder why people are locking and loading and going and driving down the street. They listen to this stuff all day, every day. And you wonder why they're jumping in the vehicle and driving down the road and wiping other people out. Quit listening to that crap. Still recovering from all the mosquitoes, in case y'all are wondering what all this scratching and stuff is all about. Georgia got like seriously dangerous mosquitoes. They fly in, they hit you, they fly out, they fly back in, they hit you. They bite you before you even realize they're there. Or they're gone before you realize they're there. Yeah, Simon and Garfunkel's. They did a lot of amazing stuff, though. A lot. You really have to let yourself go into music to pick it all up. You've got to put yourself outside of the music, though, too. You can use music to take yourself to where you want to go, which is healthy sometimes. Or you can allow the music to take you where the artist intends for you to go, which is healthy sometimes. Not everything is healthy all the time. Yeah, sitting on the dock of the bay is a healthy song. Yes, I've heard the Singing Contractors, Trey. They do a bunch of pretty good stuff. Thank you, Biddy. Love you too. Well, what the great grandparents said was crap is now what the grandparents listen to. And so it goes. Music started changing drastically in the 1920s, and it has progressed a lot. Technology has changed the planet at a rapid pace. I like classical, some of it. Uh, Believe it or not, the soundtrack to the original Star Wars movie is excellent. It's excellent tunes. They take out all the blasters and stuff like that, but it's really good stuff. That's something that'll rock your world if you put headphones on. I'm not big into the outlaw country. I'm not big into Texas country either. Just, and I know there's crossovers between all the genders or whatever, but dude, I don't want you making it sound like the place I grew up in and love is about nothing but drinking and whoring and smoking and robbing people. I hate 90% of Okay, I rejoined it. I don't know. It kicked me out. I don't know what it was doing. It it kicked me off. It kicked me off of Google Hangouts, so I joined my own deal. I'm in Google Hangouts with myself. That's not weird. Anyway, I don't know. I've been on here 7:30, 8:30, 9:30, 10:30. I've been on here 3 hours. It is so. Can y'all see me? Just out of curiosity. Hello, hello. Somebody tell me if you can see me waving at you. Wave, wave, wave. Because it's weird being in here with myself. But I'm a blank screen over there. So awkward. Do y'all see me down in the corner too? Well, whatever. I don't know. You know, one of the guys that comes into the chat sometimes, Dior's, he's been on my panel. Some of the classical rock and stuff that I pull up and listen to, it's some of his old uploads or whatever. He's got a lot of music out there. Scared to see what I would inspire. Uh, I don't know if y'all can tell I'm brain dead yet or not. I'm so just sitting here staring at the chat, watching y'all's conversation instead of leading the conversation. I like Bob Wills. I never said I didn't like Bob Wills. But Bob Wills in Texas Country. There's a new movement out there called Texas Country, and trust me, it's not Bob Wills. They tried to call it Red Dirt Country. Just ain't right. It's music about what went wrong with our state and with the country life, but it's not music about country life or country values, anything like that. Yeah, there was a lot of drinking songs and She's Done Me Wrong songs, stuff like that, but it wasn't, it was always done in a less than this is the right way to do things like, you know what I mean? We're adults. We all have an adult beverage. We all make mistakes, but we don't say, and this is the way we do things because that's just the way we do things and it should be okay. Blah, 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 blah. If bad things happen, oh well, blah, blah, blah. It's, it's lame as crap. See, 103 is a badass. Yeah. Should have known country was going to have trouble when the biggest name in the industry got bought by Walmart and then quit making music. It just, anyway. It's 22:34 as we speak. That's by the time I get through saying goodbye, it's going to be 2.5 hour, 3.5 hour deal. And I have set myself a cutoff point. I am not going to bust the 4 hour mark on another live stream. Person has to set limitations for himself. And Google Hangouts has already tried to get rid of me once. Anybody that's got my contact information or whatever, my emails on the About Me section. If y'all know what the name of that encoder is that everybody's using to do the multi-person live streams on YouTube, if y'all send a link or something like that, I would appreciate it. That way I can research it because I'd like to get back to a point where I could have a panel on here on Friday night so y'all could listen to somebody talk about something other than just what randomly comes through my head. All that being said, though, all y'all that have hung with me this long, y'all need to be aware. Doesn't matter Civil War or free for all, rules are the same. If money shuts down and transportation shuts down and public services shut down, you need food. You got to have water. and you need a safe place to be. Get you some food. A lot of it. Get you some water. A lot of it. Get a safe place to be. If you're not willing to get you some food and get you some water now, do not expect those of us who have got food and water and moved to a safe place to open our gate. Saying right. It's America. Get what you work for. Okay? I love all you people. God bless y'all. Y'all stay alive. Don't die. I'll be back on tomorrow night at 8:30 my time, which is, somebody type that in what 8:30 my time is. 20, 30 hours maybe? Yeah, 20, 30 hours. But it'll be after the SOS podcast. Because I'll be in SOS podcast, so I can't go live. Yeah. Y'all know the drill. Whenever he gets done and I get it set up, I'll get to you. Okay? Yeah, you're a little behind. One of these days I'll remember to call you and give you the Powerball numbers, eh? Just joking. Dude, I'm expecting something yesterday. HQ. I mean, nothing specific. I don't have any inside information. I just watch, I could care less about whether or not some movie star talked some gal out of a whatever to get the part. That doesn't affect me much. But floods in the breadbasket, dead cows and starving to death animals in other places, and rivers running dry here and lakes overflowing there, and gaining 2,000 or 3,000 extra people a day here. There's just too much going on. It's unsustainable. It has been for a while. And the longer something is sustained, when it's unsustainable, the harder the pop. So doesn't matter where you're in. This one, it won't be localized. When it goes, it'll go across the globe. Nobody's going to be saved. I don't think it'll happen here until it actually craters in the. It'll crater in Europe first. I believe Europe will go first. If Europe falls, it will happen here. Economically. Socialism doesn't work. Once the money made by capitalism runs out, there's no more money. It's the way it's been every time it's tried. Okay. God bless y'all. Y'all still out. Don't die. Almost tricked me into going off on something else. Love you people.